Season's greetings, YouTubers. This is Demon0981. I'm bringing another video. Oh, and seeing as it's now the 13th of December, or at least this will be when this video hits YouTube, I'm deciding to do a top 12 of Christmas list. In general, I mean doing a list on a certain character that actually provides a plot. It gets the story going, and at the end either reforms into a good guy or is defeated ultimately. By that, I mean the top 12 of Christmas villains. And yep, there's actually a villains page on the Christmas special wiki. I've seen in the Nostalgia Critics Christmas special reviews, I've seen CRs. There's 3 Christmas special reviews. I've seen a lot of them myself, mostly by Rankin Bass. There are some movies that take place around Christmas, or in one movie in general, any holiday revolving around December. So let's not waste any time, let's get on with the list. At number 12, it's Ebenezer Scrooge from, well, The Christmas Carol. In fact, any version of The Christmas Carol. I'm even going with Mickey's Christmas Carol, Muppet's Christmas Carol, Bah Humduck, that kind of stuff. Basically, we all know the story of The Christmas Carol. Ebenezer Scrooge is a rich but stingy miser who basically hates humanity because of something that happened in his youth. Or something like that. But at the stroke of midnight on Christmas Eve, or was it 11:30? I don't quite remember. Or he's visited by the ghost of his former partner, Jacob Marley, who basically warns him that if he doesn't change his ways after 3 ghosts visit him, he will be just like him. A damned spirit that forced to bear the chains that he's crafted in his life. And out of every version of this story, there are a few Jacob Marleys that actually do hit the nail on the head. Statler Lord Waldorf, on the other hand, not so much. But as you may have guessed, Ebenezer Scrooge in the end does reform and becomes a good guy. On to number 11, which is Huey Toonmore's Nightmare, or the Abominable Snow Monster, or Bumble, from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Basically, if we've seen the special, we kind of know what this thing looks like. It's basically the Yeti, that for some odd reason happens to live in the North Pole. Oh well, SpongeBob has an abominable sea monster. I guess it's possible. And there is a channel that I'm familiar with on YouTube that features like childhood scares. The Snow Monster is one of them. But if we've all seen the special, we basically know that in the end, Hermie the Elf basically he practices dentistry on him. Meaning taking out all of his teeth, making him basically harmless, and unable to do anything except look. Although he did have a kind of a big role in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys, sadly it's on the bottom of this list because, one, it's no longer scary anymore. In fact, it's kind of funny in a way. Two, in the second movie, yeah, he was featured as kind of man looked a little stupid. And three, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I really do not like what they kind of did with him during certain cell phone commercials, and especially in the Robot Chicken Christmas specials. If you know what I mean, then you probably look at me with great disdain. Number 10. Barnaby or the Crooked Man from Babes in Toyland. Now, out of all the versions of Babes in Toyland I can mention, and there are two. One's an animated version, one's a live action version from Disney. Basically, Barnaby's like a more evil version of Scrooge. He'll tax everyone else in this storybook land, and because, well, he's evil. Oh, and he has a couple of henchmen, and which I'm assuming are pirates. And by the way, this is what the anime version. And basically, he wants to Mary had a little lamb, and so he can get her money or something like that. Yeah, I don't quite really know that much about certain villains in this list, but I am going to be looking back at that specials wiki time and again, and make sure I get my facts right. Number 9. Burgermeister Meisterburger from Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Voiced by Paul Frees, is this Austria-Hungarian, and mayor or something like that. Speaking of is kind of like a funny villain in a way. At first, he basically tells his assistant Grimsby to cast out the baby Santa Claus. And years later, when Kris Kringle grows up, as he's walking down the stairs, Meisterburger kind of has a little accident. He slips on a wooden duck toy. Question: how exactly did that toy get there when, 5 seconds before, it wasn't even there in the first place? After this, he breaks his foot and announces that toys are no longer allowed in Sombertown. Oh, and there's a little song, no more toys makers for the king. Now, he basically sings on how each toy would be obliterated. But, as luck would have it, as soon as Kris brings toys to the children of Sombertown, and Meisterburger and his men happen to be going through town to make sure everyone's miserable, well, he finds out that the kids have toys and thus want to get rid of them. Sorry if my voice sounds a little odd. And this one, for some odd reason, my throat feels kind of weird. And as he's about to sentence the kids to the dungeon, Kris confronts him and pleads that he's the one responsible. And before he manages to get Kris the dungeon treatment, and Kringle provides him with a large yo-yo. And this is when, and I I have to say, is like one of the funniest moments in the special. Oh, because as Grimsby is trying to tell him, sir, you're kind of breaking your own law, aren't you? Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, wait a minute. And realizing that he's kind of breaking his own law, he turns his man against Chris, and seeing as they're unable to catch up to him, he gets away safely. And if you've seen the special as well as I have, there's some like cat and mouse things going on. And Burgermeister tries to come up with weight. He needs to keep Chris from delivering toys. Chris finds a way around it until he's captured by the guards. With the help of Jessica and the Winter Warlock, that's magic feed court, and that she feeds to the reindeer, they manage to escape. After that, there's nothing really all that said about the Burgermeisters, other than the fact that they died out of power. Or died from being out of power. Again, it's Christmas specials like this that I kind of scratch my head. I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Number 8. Jack Frost. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the serial killer snowman. I'm not talking about the Michael Keaton Jack Frost. I'm not even talking about the one from Rise of the Guardians. And I'm talking about the Jack Frost from Frosty's Winter Wonderland. As I mentioned in my last Christmas special last year, Jack Frost is jealous that Frosty is popular. Seeing as, well, Jack Frost is basically the reason why we have snow. A little bit. And seeing as he notices that Frosty's hat is the reason why the snowman's even alive, he basically wants to kill off Frosty by stealing his hat. And he kind of fails numerous times until finally he succeeds. But makes a quick heel turn when Frosty's his bride-to-be, he tells him that he can be the best man. Thus, he becomes a good guy. And he once again. Number 7. We all kind of saw this one coming. The robbers from every Home Alone movie. Let's face it, every Home Alone film that's out there is set around Christmas. And usually is this kid and setting up these incredibly well thought out traps to kind of keep robbers and thieves away from him. The most recent one I could think of is like Home Alone 3, or is it 4? I don't know, the one where the kid gets this remote control car, or that has a microchip that these smugglers are trying to get. And he comes up with some very interesting ways to keep them away from it. And as usual, they get arrested and sent to jail. Number 6. If you excuse me for a minute, I need to take a look at something. Oh, where is it? Oh, I'll try Google Chrome. They give me a better selection. Number 6. He is from the Christmas train. Excuse me. Yeah, there's not really that much I can say about this entry, other than the fact that the leader of these trolls is voiced by Hans Conried, as we all know, or to be the Disney version of Captain Hook. And if I can find out some information on it, I can definitely tell you what it is. Or what these little troll things are. Basically, a synopsis of the special is these trolls are a little upset that they're not mentioned in the season of Christmas at all. Oh, and their leader decides to do something about it. If by, get this, derailing a Christmas train. Santa and Kids Next Door had a very interesting delivery service. Arthur Christmas had and Spaceship like Slaves. Rise of the Guardians had a sword wielding Cossack Santa. Well, why not? And also, Santa had one in partner that I'll mention later. Well, I'm gonna cut it short here. Or for now, I'll see you next time.